Last time we covered the best value for money DC Absolute Editions, but let's just be honest, we all want to know which one's the worst. WOOFWOOF! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we are back with another video. So we've already done a couple of these value for money videos, and I'd recommend checking out the full playlist if there's any that you've missed out on. But this video is for the statistics fans, the people who love crunching numbers, because what we do is we take the page count, we divide it by the cover price, and that gives us a price per page value. So before you watch this, if you think I'm talking about any of the stories that we're going to cover, just take a deep breath and realise that this isn't that video. And as well, I've done as best as I can to check the page counts across a few different sources to make sure it's as accurate as possible, but admittedly I get about 20p an hour on YouTube, so I'm not really going to sit through and count every single page in an absolute edition. But kicking off the list in 26th place, because we've got a two-way tie at 24th, it's one that I think is very interesting because of the fact that it featured quite highly in the best value for money absolute editions video. That's because it got a reprint about 10 or so years later when the cover price had been doubled to $100. However, its page count remained at 372, which meant that its price per page value was 26.88 cents. And yes, of course, I am talking about the re-release of Absolute Batman Hush. Yes, this one is a complete anomaly because of the fact that it's the only book that's going to feature in both lists, but it's a book that I also really love. Again, like I said, I'm not really judging the quality of the book, and some people still don't seem to understand that no matter how many of these videos that I do, but I've already done a review of Batman Hush, so I just recommend checking that out. But I just can't believe that the cover price doubled, and it really disappoints me because this is a book that I feel like a lot of people should own. I really wish there was some way that I could make this cost less for you guys. Oh wait, there is. You can check out the channel's sponsor, Organic Price Books. They've got great packaging, fast shipping, and amazing customer services, and if you use code WOOFWOOF, you'll get $2 off your order. And just like how Batman Hush appears more than once, you can use this code as many times as you like. I swear I've advertised about 4 things in the first 2 minutes of this video, and that's probably going to be a record for me. But we then have a two-way tie for 24th because both of these books have a cover price of $99.99. They've also got the same page count of 368, which means that they've got a price per page value of 27.17 cents. And they both involve Hal Jordan because the first one is Green Lantern Sinestro Corps War. Tied with it is a book that's over my shoulder because it's Absolute Green Lantern Green Arrow. Then coming in at 23, we jump up to a 27.41 price per page value. And it's a book that had a cover price of $125 but only 456 pages. It's a shame to be saying this because it's something that's definitely my jam, but it's Absolute Wonder Woman New 52 Volume 2. So if you can get your hands on it for cover price, I'd probably just recommend picking up the omnibus. Number 22, we've got a very skinny boy because it's only got 272 pages in it. It's got a slightly cheaper cover price of $75, but it still comes out with a price per page value of 27.57 cents, and this is Absolute Flashpoint. Yep, the very first event that I ever brought in single issues, the thing that kicked off the New 52 to begin with, unfortunately graces this list. We've then got a two-way tie for 20th place, and once again the New 52 is making its way onto here. That's because it's Absolute Justice League Origins, because it's got a cover price of $99.99, a page count of 360, and a price per page value of 27.78 cents. And I know my friend Domination Comics did a great overview of the book, so if you are contemplating it based on the price, I'd just recommend checking out that. But tying with it is one of the only Sandman books that didn't make it into the best value for money list, and it's got pretty much all the same statistics as Absolute Justice League Origin, and it's also coincidentally the thing that I say that I feel like when I've got a raging hangover, because it's absolute death. Number 19, and again, if we were talking about the quality of a book, this would not even be close to being on the worst value for money list, but unfortunately it's Absolute Kingdom Come. Yeah, it's the reprint that came out a few years later because I do believe originally it had a cheaper cover price. I really love this book, I want to be able to do a review of it, but unfortunately it does have a price per page value of 29.41 cents. And that's because it's got a cover price just shy of $100 but only 340 pages. And it's just such a shame because that book does not deserve to be on any kind of worst list because it was written by Mark fucking Wade. We then got a two-way tie for 17th place because they've both got a cover price of $99.99, page count of 336, which means that they've both got a price per page value of 29.76 cents, and the first one is Absolute Infinite Crisis. And tying with it is the often overshadowed Batman Haunted Knight. Number 16, and completing this series, we've got Absolute Sandman Overture. It's also the first book to break into the 30 cents mark for the price per page value at 30.05, and I had to check this in a few places because apparently apparently it's only got a cover price of $125, but only a 416 page count. We've then got a 4-way tie for 12th place, all of which are books that are now pretty much out of print. And as well, just before getting to the books, that's one thing that I will touch on. One suggestion that I often get for this series is to maybe have it for the price that the book is now. So on the aftermarket price, what would the price per page value be then? I really appreciate that suggestion, and it would be fun to do. The only thing is that I already get so many actuallys in the comments of pretty much nearly every video that would be open season for that concept. It's why I often keep in takes where I pronounce things incorrectly, you know, it's like, you know, just give them something to play with. But yes, like I said, we've got a 4-way tie. All of them have a cover price of $99.99, a page count of 328, and a price per page value of 30.48 cents. And there's that many that I'm probably going to have to cover my face, you know, you can thank me for that later. But we've got Absolute Promethea Volume 1, Absolute Promethea Volume 2, Absolute Ronin, and yeah, of course it's going to round out the set. We've got Absolute Promethea Volume 3. We've then got a 2-way tie for 10th place, and both of these are books that I really enjoy. It's a shame to see both of these on here, but facts don't care about feelings because they've both got a cover price of $99.99, a page count of 320, and a price per page value of 31.25 cents. And they are Absolute All-Star Superman and Absolute Batman the Black Mirror. And yep, if you're looking over your shoulder, this isn't going to be the last time that you hear the words All-Star and Batman in the same sentence. But honestly, the Batman tax is real because coming in at 9th place, we've got Absolute Batman Arkham Asylum. This also went out of print overnight, but when it was released, it had a cover price of $75, a page count of 232, which meant that it had a price per page value of 32.33 cents. And actually, that's a book that I still need to read. But we then got a 2-way tie for 7th place, with both of these books having a price per page value of 32.89 cents. The first of which again seems to be affected by the Batman tax because it's got a cover price of $49.99 and a page count of 152 because it's Batman the Killing Joke. And you could make an argument that this is even worse value for money because of the fact that it's basically the same book printed twice but with different colouring. Although the page quality is different, and I kind of like little details like that, so for me, this was pretty decent. But Time With It is a book that I know a lot of people love. I've got it on my shelf and I'm very eager to start reading it when I finally get a chance. But it had double the cover price at $99.99 and double the page count at 304 because it's absolute day tripper. Number 6, and the only pre-order that you're going to see on this list depending on when you watch it, but it's Absolute Wonder Woman Gods and Mortals. Yes, if this comes out the way that it's solicited, it's going to take the 6th place on this list because it has a cover price of $125, a very stingy page count of 376, and that meant that it had a price per page value of 33.24 cents. But this is one that you can pre-order from Organic Price Books, so I definitely recommend getting it from there. And again, in case you've forgotten the last 5 minutes or so, WOOFWOOF for $2 off your order. Number 5, and I remember people being disappointed with this when it was originally solicited, but it's a book that's got a cover price of $75, a page count of 224, which meant that it had a price per page value of 33.48 cents, and it's going to be the Jeff Johns classic Absolute Green Lantern Rebirth. Yeah, I remember being on the iFanboy comment sections when this book was originally announced, and people just kept saying that this is the beginning of the end, and we're just going to have higher and higher cover prices from now on. Wait, those people were kind of right. And whether you believe that prediction was correct or incorrect, it's made it into 5th place on this list. We've then got another 2-way tie for the bronze medal, both of which have got a cover price of $99.99, a page count of 288, which means that they've got a price per page value of 34.72 cents. And first up is a very polarizing book because it's Absolute Identity Crisis. And Time With It is a book that isn't divisive in terms of storytelling, but more so in the production of the book itself because it's Absolute Batman Year 1. Yeah, I know this is one of those books that really tends to rub some people up the wrong way because of the fact that it's pretty much just the same book twice. And when you look at that cover price, it isn't really easy to justify it. All I'm saying is that I'm just glad I got this for 50% off. And the thing is, you'll notice with some books that if it is a popular character like Batman, then they do feel like they can put a steeper cover price on it. So you may have seen some of your favourite books on this list, but it makes sense from a business perspective because of the fact that they know that you'll buy it. And I'm saying that now rather than at the end of the video because coming in at 2nd place, we've got Absolute All-Star Batman and Robin, a book that nobody seemed to wanted, that not many people pick up, and I've only got it in my collection because of the fact that I want to do a video on it. And you know me, I just love Jim Lee's artwork, and that's also pretty much the only reason this Absolute edition exists. But it's taken the silver place medal with a price per page value of 39.06 cents, and that's because it's got a cover price of $99.99, but only 256 pages. But speaking of books that nobody picked up, we've got our number 1 worst value for money DC Absolute edition. I genuinely had to check in quite a few places because I could not believe just how steep of a cover price this book was. So near enough every 2 pages in this book is worth $1, and yes, I know I'm from the UK, so we have pounds and pence. I always like when people point that out to me as if I'm gonna look for my wallet and just be confused. But its staggering price per page value of 49.99 cents is only because of the fact fact that it's got a cover price of $99.99. And yeah, I feel like the word cent doesn't exist anymore. I feel like I've said it too many times now. But it had one of the slimmest page counts of any Absolute Edition at only 200. And of course, the worst value for money DC Absolute Edition is gonna be Absolute League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Black Dossier. Yep, what a fall from grace for this series, considering the fact that I think even both Volume 1 and 2 made it into the best value list. But still, that's going to top the list, and I guess that's the video. Thank you for checking it out. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, why did you get this far? But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe and stay mad, all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.